Welcome to my favorite coffee. What is my favorite coffee, you ask? Well, let me tell you, my favorite coffee is specialty grade coffee. We buy single origin, so we know that our coffee is responsibly sourced. People are being paid what they should be getting paid to make this coffee. It is also high grade stuff. Oh my God. So we actually have two blends. We have the Fave, which is our dark roast. It's more of a chocolate, nutty kind of coffee. But if you're like, oh man, I'm a coffee snob, I want more distinct flavors, then we got the Brave for you. That is our light roast. That's gonna be more fruity. You could put this through any kind of process, pour over, French press, Mr. Coffee, whatever kind of crazy coffee device you got. These are gonna beat anything you could buy off the store shelves. Try me. Try me, Folgers. Try me, Starbucks. Try me, Keurig. This is our cold brew. We steeped this for 16 hours in refrigerators. We took out all the minerals, double filtered that water, put in our own minerals that trap in that flavor, and it's in BPA-free brown bottles. None of that UV light's getting in there to ruin that flavor, so it'll be nice and tasty for you. Also, this is concentrated, so you can actually get basically 2 coffees out of 1 bottle. So these are mugs, beautiful little logo. Comes in blue or yellow. And hey, check this out. When you're drinking it, you can let them know Smosh has got your back. Ooh, that's hot. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make my favorite pour over. I don't know why I said it like that. I'll never do that again. We're gonna do a little bit of this. A little of this bad boy right here. Oh yeah. It's my favorite part, is ripping open the little zipper thing. So this kind of grinder is called a burr grinder. It's where you could basically set your sort of coarseness level. That way, if you want to do like pour overs or French press, if you're doing French press, you're going to want a coarser ground. Or if you're doing your own cold brew, you want a coarser ground. But if you want to do like a pour over, you want a finer ground. Or if you're doing your Mr. Coffee sort of like automatic drip kind of thing, you also want a finer ground. If you actually don't have a grinder at home, you guys can actually order my favorite coffee pre-ground. I believe it comes in a fine ground, so for your sort of automatic drip or pour over. I'm gonna drop it into this bad boy. That's definitely enough. I think a lot of people, they end up pouring way too many beans for what they need. So I mean, I roughly put in around enough to fill up this mug. You guys can look online. There's ways to sort of get a good ratio using like a scale and stuff, but there's other ways. This is the Hario V60. You can get it for like 16 bucks. It's a little pour over thing. You get a little paper filter to put in there, and they give you this little like measuring thing that tells you how many grounds to put in. I'm gonna turn this on and you're not gonna hear me for a sec. My favorite part about this is you could beat your machine, you know, get some aggression out. I mean, you don't need like a fancy electric kettle or anything. You could just use a normal kettle. You don't want your water boiling, but just below that. You always want to like pre-wet your filter. Oh yeah, get in there, baby. What a lot of fancy coffee places and fancy coffee people will do is they'll saturate the beans just enough for about like 30 seconds, pouring just enough water to sort of get the ground saturated. And obviously, you could probably do it in a better, more artistic way than I can. Since we've been experimenting with these beans, they're not going to be as fresh as the ones that you guys are going to get at home. And then you want to just let that kind of sit for, I think, about 30 seconds or so. And then you're just going to start dumping that water in, baby. And you just start pouring that in. Get those bubbles. And then we play the waiting game. Then we play the waiting game. We play the waiting game. Waiting for our good coffee. My favorite coffee. You don't have to sing the song or any kind of song while you do pour over, but I like to. Do you hear that noise? Do you hear that drip drip? This process generally takes about 4 minutes or so it's not like you're saving a whole lot of time using a Keurig. Like 4 minutes isn't that much time out of your day. You're gonna get way better coffee. You're gonna get so many more cups of coffee out of one bag of my favorite coffee. Like this bag is about the same price as a 16 cup box of Keurig, and I think you can get maybe like 50 or 60 cups of coffee out of this one single bag. If you do a subscription for My Favorite Coffee, you can designate how often you want it to show up at your doorstep. The very first bag is 50% off, and any other bags after that in the subscription are 25% off. That's right, so your first bag will be $8. It's a damn good deal. For this kind of coffee, it's a freaking good ass deal. And there you have it. A nice mug, My Favorite Coffee. Take a little sip, it's gonna be very hot, but I'm too excited to drink it. Try to beat this Starbucks. Oh, what's that? You can't? Oh, that's right, our coffee's better. I'm gonna show you guys how to make a fun little recipe with My Favorite Coffee's cold brew. So what you wanna do is pour about half of the cold brew into a glass of ice. You can take like about 2 ounces of half and half or heavy whipping cream. This is my favorite part because you get to watch like, if you pour, oh gosh. Well, use an actual thing to pour and not a shot glass. But if you pour it in nice and slow, you can see that cool effect happen. Look at that. Isn't that dope? This cold brew is concentrated, so even using half of a bottle for a drink is enough coffee. Cold brew generally has quite a bit more caffeine than a regular cup of coffee. And then I'm gonna take a little honey, kind of do, to your heart's content. Take a little stir stick, stir that bad boy around. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so this is one of the ways you can make My Favorite Coffee, but guess what? If this is also your favorite coffee, you make it however you damn well want to. I love sharing coffee with my family and my friends, and I'm so excited to share this coffee with you guys. I hope you get a chance to try it. I encourage you to try it. So go to myfavoritecoffee.com, check it out right now. Get yourself a bag. You deserve it. I love you. I love you. Mwah.